Hello everyone, I'm artist Charles Wolfe. Welcome to Impulsive Artistry and this painting lesson today. I'm going to start out with my palette, Cadmium Yellow, Titanium White, Phthalo Blue, Aqua Green, and just a touch of the Cadmium Red. I don't think I actually ended up using that red today, so you don't even need it. 4 colors on the left and you should be good to go. The materials that I use for this piece, I have an angle brush, a Philbert brush, a round brush, and then of course the 16 by 20 inch canvas, an easel, some cardboard for my palette, and away we can go. Using a little bit of water with this acrylic paint to help it run and move quickly. And then I started to blend together the sky mixture that we'll be using for the majority of this painting. The sky mixture is as follows. It's Phthalo Blue, Titanium White, a touch of the Aqua Green, and a very small touch of the Cadmium Yellow, just to give it a little hint of green. We want it to be mostly blue though, so be very light-handed with that yellow. If you do too much, you'll start getting it to be like a neon green, and we don't want that. We want it to be mostly blue. I'm going to start to add in a layer of white almost immediately here, kind of quickly blending somewhat upwards. I'm not actually going to overblend this painting. I want the brushwork to be forward and very visible. I'm using a very large brush for all of this. This aqua green here just adds a little bit of color and contrast in the sky. I'm going for something that's a little bit more fantastical, moody and vivid and bright, and more of an impression of a cloudy day rather than something that's very photorealistic, loose and fun and quick, and very, very much an abstraction or an impression of this sort of thing. And I want there to be lots of brush strokes, and I want them to be very visible. I'm using a lot of paint as well, so I'm getting some thick ridges with this paint, and I'm not over blending, but I'm letting the paint lay one stroke against the next and trying to get everything to be very active and exciting to look at. I'm adding more white here, lightening up around, sort of forming a halo effect around where I'm going to put this big billowing white cloud. Speaking of that cloud, let's bring that in now. Here's some titanium white with a clean angle brush, big brush here, and I'll just start to push that up into the blue above. And again, it will blend a little bit, but not much, and I want it to be very forward. Don't overmix, don't overblend here. Keep the brushwork very active, constantly moving, constantly continuing to push the paint around, but not blending too much. Using a lot of the paint today for this piece, getting a great deal of texture on that canvas. Some more of the white here at the bottom. Blue plays through that, it's okay. Just don't overmix. Continuing to, again, bring up that brushwork and really showing off the individual strokes here to create the shapes. It's a fantastic little painting. It's very easy to do. You could do different cloud shapes. Don't feel like you have to copy it exactly what I'm doing here, but just take it as a source of inspiration and create something that's uniquely your own. I just wanted to give you some ideas to start a painting. As things happen on your canvas, let it happen. Let it be its own unique thing. Don't feel like you need to match what I'm doing 100%. Just an idea, just a suggestion to kind of get you started, get you excited about painting. And that's the goal of this painting lesson today. Have some fun with putting paint on a canvas and get some experience with some big brushes and using them and letting the paint just run smoothly and freely, using lots of paint today and getting used to that feeling of a thick impasto style painting. Touch of the aqua green, again bringing up the green to kind of let that have a shock of lighter color through that blue. We're going to use that as a background layer later on and bring in more of the white, but we'll get to that later. Just putting in some of that green here and there to make it look a little more interesting. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but in person and at the very end of the video, you'll see the full painting and it'll be easier to see. Here I'm mixing together the cadmium yellow and the titanium white to make kind of a lighter shine here. Now you could make this a little bit less yellow or maybe more golden by adding a touch of the red to it, and or using actual golden paint, maybe a little bit of umber as well to soften it and mute it down. Today I didn't do that. I went for more of a purified version of this and used yellow and lightened it up and made a creamy yellow. You could do golden, like I said, orange. You could do maybe a touch of pink, whatever color works for you and you feel like painting with. I'm going to stick with this yellow for today. It just adds a little bit of contrast and movement and some heat. Contrast to the blue and aqua that we've been using up to this point. Here's some more of the white, just blending it through in places, pushing upwards here, trying to get some more shapes, some lighter areas. And we'll bring some of that blue down below as some of the sky is showing through in places. As you can see, the sky is going to take up the majority of this canvas, and we'll keep the landscape part, the impression of a landscape, just at the bottom. But today we really want these huge, mighty clouds, and so we're going to let them be the focal point and really dominate most of the canvas, like I said. Using a little round brush here, great for making these kind of swoopy lines. Just pulling horizontally with this brush with a bit of the sky blue mix. Put in the bottom of this cloud and where some of the sky is going to show through. We'll clean this up. Right now it's kind of loose. As we bring in other strokes around it, it'll sort of make everything flow a bit better. Quick choppy strokes here with my angle brush with more of the white, a touch of the blue in there as well, I think. Mostly white. A couple of times in this painting, if you watch closely, you'll see that I had to add more white paint to my palette as I was running out because I was using so much of it and really putting it on thickly. Here's some more of the white, again, clean angle brush. I have a number of brushes going here so I don't have to stop as much. There's a couple different sizes, but they're all basically the same basic thing. You could also use a Filbert brush or a flat wash brush, and those would work great for this as well. It's important to have some of the blue there as it breaks up the monotony of all white. The yellow helps with that as well, and just creates some more movement and some more interest in the painting. It's hard to see the light without the dark, so having some darker, more muted sections works very well. You could also bring in a bit of the gray if you had some black, and that would be an interesting direction to take it, make it look a little bit more stormy. Just bringing in more of the white, a little thicker in places here and there. For those of you who watch my channel regularly, you may have noticed that I've switched to a once-a-week upload schedule for the summer. My work schedule has changed a bit, making it a little tricky to get these videos out more than once a week. So instead of trying to stress myself out too much, trying to get so many videos out, I'm going to focus on just creating good quality videos for you all, but just once a week uploads, just for the summer at least, because right now I'm just not having quite as much time as I did in the spring, and because of that, I'm just not able to quite get so many videos out. I was doing 2, sometimes 3 a week there in the spring, and it was just a little bit too much for my current schedule. So bear with me, I'm going to keep putting videos out. I'm not quitting by any means, but I do need to keep it to just 1 video a week for the time being. Here I brought in the cadmium yellow, and using this angle brush, I'm bringing in the Aqua Green darker in the front and then getting lighter in the distance, and we'll just create a quick landscape here. Just kind of suggesting some hills and maybe some plains and some mountains. Touch more of the green, the aqua. We'll make that a little bit darker here in the front. And then back into the yellow and just bring that together a little bit more. Quick diagonal strokes, more yellow. And that looks great. Very dynamic and pretty simple, and it just adds a nice foreground. I really like the sort of abstract nature with the colors and making them a little less realistic. If you want it to be a little more realistic, you could make more of an olive green mix with the yellow and the Mars black, and that would be a great alternative. But today I just felt like something fun, and so I chose to do some more abstracted colors. More of the aqua here. Bringing back in my Filbert brush here, just wanted some darker notes with a small Filbert brush. I'm just going to scrub them in, create some more movement and brushwork up here. Almost dry brushing at this point because the paint dries so quickly in this summer heat. Then back to the white plus the sky blue mix, and we'll just bring in a little more of the blue poking through in a few spots down below at the bottom of these clouds. And a few spots here and there just to break it up, like I said. And pulling that white up into the blue a little bit more. More Phthalo Blue. Add it to my sky blue mix, and we'll just make this a little bit darker. I think that one line of blue is a little bit too harsh, so we'll just soften that by lifting upwards. Create some more movement with the brush strokes by changing the direction, by moving more of a diagonal strokes just to mix it up. Pull up some of the white upwards into the blue and just kind of set it back there behind. I just love how forward and bold the brush strokes are, and you can see almost each individual brush stroke, and that's something I'm really going for with this composition. If you want to see more of my work, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for notifications each and every time that I upload a new video. You can follow me on Twitter at ArtImpulsive. I'll be back very soon with another painting lesson. Thanks so much.